Previously on Bleak Prospect.
Choose the doctor, they said. Choose the doctor. We might need a doctor.
As you touch his stomach, your hand phases through his skin.
I've marked a tree. We can drive back if we need to. We need to lie low in case there was another car at that diner. He could get help. They could be after us. We got to go back.
Where have you been, Billy? Where have you been? Was it the faceless men? The men with masks? Did they take you?
I believe it may be connected to whatever it is we're all suffering from. My working theory is that it's a form of parasite.
I think I've just started thinking we might all have it.
I am a lady of quality. I am a lady of quality.
Nothing's changed. I'm going to get us out of this, but we got to pull off the road. Doc?
I know, Thomas, I know.
If we drive up here, it's the most obvious thing that we do. We're behaving like criminals, which we aren't.
It's situational.
God damn it, fate stole our lives, so let's take them back.
Find me any police chief who wouldn't steal a car to save his own child.
Because what if something's up at Hawks' place that he's messing around with? Dabbling, that's what he said. He was dabbling.
Even in this godforsaken time and in this part of the world, people still, they value the lives of children. And if someone was to come across the car and find me and Billy, I believe they would take Billy to a hospital. And what happens to me is neither here nor there.
The Apocalypse Players present Bleak Prospect, a Depression-era scenario for Call of Cthulhu 7th edition by Scott Dorward from the Nameless Horrors collection. Starring Danann McAleer as former socialite Maureen Frayne, Joseph Chance as former businessman Thomas Dolan, and Dan Wheeler as former medical doctor Nathaniel Coombs. The keeper of arcane lore is Dominic Allen. Chapter 4: The Other Side of the Fence.
How far do we have to walk?
The house is slap in the middle of the estate. So this gravel path goes pretty much in a straight line and then does a left to the front of the house. Way over to your left as you go through the gate is an orchard. You can see it through the grass and the trees and the bushes. You can see these sort of arranged trees, but they too have gone wild. They're not as neat as they used to be. Behind the house in the far northwest corner of the estate is this lake with a boathouse. You probably can't see that from the gate. You can just about see the roof of the house, sticking up just over the sort of hillock.
Would it be worth going back to the car to drive up? Because we've blown any kind of context of sneak.
Post gate, is it like cracked and crooked? Is it like you could circle round a central thing and like face back out?
I mean, you could. It's really overgrown though.
Let's just walk.
Yeah.
So you start trudging through the gravel.
I think after I've opened the gates, I want to turn to the other two and say, now listen, I'm here to get Esther. Perhaps Billy shouldn't be taken too far in. I don't want to split us up. I'm just thinking about the vulnerable in our party. My instinct is to call and get anyone who's here to our attention. But I'm willing to... I need my daughter back. This is the main thing. She's here somewhere, I think. And if she isn't, we need to know as soon as possible. But I don't want to put this poor child through more than he has to be.
Oh, nor do I, which was why I was keen to wait in the car with him.
Yes, no, I know. But... Well, anyway, he'll get help as soon as Esther gets help.
Whatever we might find in this place, if it's anything to do with what Hawks was up to, I haven't got a clue about that, and nor does Maureen. We need you, Doc.
But this poor boy has just escaped from this place. You saw the state he was in when he stumbled into the road. He'd just run away from here, and we've brought him right back.
Are you saying this place did this to him?
Well, do you have any different idea?
It hadn't occurred to me. I'm sorry.
You might be right. You might be right, Nathaniel. Whatever they're doing to children here, but then that includes Esther. And with our sort of reinvigorated Step starts striding towards the main doors of the house, and I locate my gun again in the lining of my jacket.
So you're carrying on up the gravel path.
I let her go.
Yes. As soon as I'm within hearing distance of the house itself, I might start shouting.
Well, you're not there yet.
Okay.
It's a big estate.
Okay.
Take a bit of a walk. What are Nathaniel and Thomas doing?
We're standing in an impasse, just inside the gate, because that's where Maureen stopped us. I was trudging on the gravel a few foot, and then she drew my attention, and now she's charged up there.
I think we should have brought the car up. You're right. Sorry.
As Maureen trudges off, you all hear all around you in these long grasses. There's constant sort of rustling noises. Occasionally you see a patch of grass move sharply and then stop.
Oh, God.
It's like you start to feel a bit itchy, you know? Like, the silence that you thought you heard. Now you've become accustomed to it. You can hear all this movement in the grass. Nathaniel and Thomas, you can give me a spot hidden roll. And Maureen, seeing as you've gone further up the path, you can give me a listen roll.
Okay.
Miles away, 76 on the 25.
16 on a 40.
What did you get, Dan?
He's thinking about it.
Well, I failed, but I'm going to think I might spend a bit of luck. You failed, did you, Joseph?
It's a heavy fail, 76.
Yeah, so it's worth me spending a bit of luck. I'm going to spend some luck to just pass that.
Okay.
What's your luck now?
34.
Gosh, you're in a better state than us, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good because you've seen something. So I'm looking. I'm hearing these things.
So, Nathaniel, and this probably makes sense for the doctor to spot.
He's mad.
You see something. This rustling noise draws your attention to the grass either side of the gate here. And Maureen, you'll have noticed this as well, as some of it brushes past you. There's no way of avoiding it, really. There's a sort of stickiness to the grass. Strange sort of sticky secretion on it. At first you think it's dew, but it's viscous. And some of the grass is sort of clumped together where it's sort of strings of this sort of viscous liquid are hanging between blades of grass. And among some of the grass, Nathaniel, you see a creature. It's lying prone on its side, but there's something odd about it. As you take a step closer, you see that it's a rabbit.
Is it weirdly mutated?
It doesn't look right.
Oh,
fuck.
Oh dear.
In fact, it looks desiccated.
Oh God. But it looks dead? Or is it's not moving? That's not moving.
It's not moving. It does look dead.
Something's moving in there, but that's not it.
Yeah. And actually, as you think that, you see that something underneath its skin sort of moves slowly. Like this sort of pulsating.
Coombs.
God.
What is it?
There's something in the grass.
Look, man. All right, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I spoke out of turn. Take the boy. Damn it.
Why don't I
Go back to the car.
Go back to the car with the boy, reverse the car all the way up the drive, all the way to the house.
We'll bring Esther to the car. Do it.
Exactly, and I'll be in the car with my revolver. I will cover you. There's something in the grass.
What do you mean?
There's something. There's movement. There's some sort of creature in the grass. I
can't see it. What? There's something moving. I saw something moving. Right. We won't go into the grass. Okay. I'll tell.
Stay. Keep your eye on the grass. Don't go near it.
I'll tell Mrs. Frayne.
Don't go near it. And I would like to, if it's all right, to sort of do this or say it in one action. Go back to the car, put Billy back on the back seat, and start the car and slowly sort of just reverse it up through the gate, and then up all the way up the drive.
Yes. I'll come back to that. But you certainly get to the car and put Billy in it and start the car up.
I head after Maureen, but she's well ahead of me and I can't catch her up that quickly because I've got a move of 6.
Fine. So, Maureen, you hear this noise. Suddenly you become aware of this noise from within the grass. There's this rustling sounds of movement, but among it just off the path to your left, you hear this sobbing. It sounds like a man sobbing. Help me. Help, please. Oh, help.
Who's there? Who's there?
Oh, someone help. Oh, please help.
Where's Esther?
Who's there? Help.
My daughter.
Who are you? Please come. Help me. I can't move. Help.
What can I see? Like, does it lead into really thick undergrowth, or is it like...
It's thick.
Yeah.
Thick grass. Tall grass. And there's shrubberies and bushes and things. And trees dotted about, which are all sort of overgrown.
Yeah.
But you can kind of work out where the sound is coming from.
Can't you move?
I can't feel my legs.
Okay, I'll come back for you. I have to find my daughter.
No, please. Just help me. I'll do whatever you want. I just need help.
What's your name?
Johnny. I'm Johnny Reese. I'm Johnny Reese.
Do I recognize the name?
Oh, it might maybe not for you, but you can give me an education roll.
Okay.
See if it rings any bells.
That's almost certainly a failure. That's a 91. My education's 60.
Is there a chance I can hear any of this?
Give me a listen roll.
You're trying to catch up with me, right?
But no, you've never heard of Johnny Reese.
Yeah.
Base listen 20%, 76. Whew. So I've inherited the bad dice rolls. It's good.
So Maureen, what do you do?
I say, I'll come back for you. We won't leave you here. I have to find my daughter. And I keep moving towards the house.
Okay. So you keep moving towards the house. So I'm going to say that, Thomas, you eventually catch up to the point where Maureen was, but she's moved on. The path eventually forks closer to the house. You can kind of see the house now. It's a big old house. Sort of looks a bit like the White House. It's kind of like a Georgian,
right?
Big
Colonial.
Colonial, yeah, exactly. And you can guess which path goes that way, but there is another path that you think leads to they look sort of like outbuildings near the house. You probably can't see Maureen Frayne. She's. I
was going to say, if I can't see her
ahead of you,
and if I can't see tracks, there's one left, there's one right. One goes to the house, the other one goes to outbuildings.
But you do now start to hear this voice again, the voice that Maureen heard.
Oh,
you do now hear. Someone else there, help!
Who's that?
I'm Johnny Reese. I asked the lady to help, but
Johnny Reese. Do I recognize the name?
Give me an education roll.
87 on a 50. I don't recognize the name. Johnny Reese.
Never heard of him.
Johnny, I gotta catch up with that lady, Johnny.
Poor Johnny. I just need some help, please.
Where are you?
There's something wrong.
Where are you?
I feel sick. I'm just over here.
Is it coming from the grass? I look back at the gate, and I already can't see Coombs. And I just nod and go, we'll come back for you. And then I take the path to...
Oh, God! Oh, God!
I think we've got to stick together. So I'm gonna take the path to the house, not to the outhouses.
Fine.
But I clock it.
So you're taking the path to the house.
Hoping that's the path.
Both of you, as you get closer to the house, the smell from the garden starts to change. Up until now, it smelt like overripe fruit. Like rotting kind of fecundity. Now it's become slightly more astringent. It smells like stomach lining, like vomit.
Fuck.
There's that kind of really sickly sweet, slightly parmesan-y smell.
Nice.
Acrid.
Nice use of the word parmesan.
It's a hint on the breeze.
It's only time
yeah, but it's enough to...
Utterly unpalatable.
So maybe a breeze on my hint. Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Meanwhile, back at the car, you get the engine going, but reversing up this driveway could go wrong. So I'm going to ask for a drive auto roll. I'm a cunt.
Okay. That's just basic, I think, which is what, 20, 25?
20, right?
Tell me, what's going to happen if I fail that roll, which I've just done?
I think probably the car might get stuck.
What's going to happen if I push it and fail it?
It'll get stuck and you won't get it back out again.
If you push it and fail it, the car might not work again.
Yeah, I think I know that as well.
That's just such bad maths, isn't it? I mean, not bad maths by you, dear man. It's bad odds.
Yeah, seriously bad odds.
Fucking 20% chance.
Looking at my luck, I'm going to spend some more luck. Assuming that a pass on this roll is going to let me get the car as far up the drive as I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to assume?
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to spend some more luck. It's quite a lot of luck.
Mm.
But I'm going to do it.
Is it 14?
It's a bit more than that.
18?
It's a tiny bit more than that.
22?
It's that much.
Ooh. So it would put you on to 12. I mean, I started with 20.
Yeah, I was... Yeah, I'm spending the luck. I'm spending the luck.
So it takes you a while.
Respect, man. Respect. Kept us in the game there.
Sort of looking over your shoulder. It's always tricky reversing, especially a long distance, not to veer off into the grass.
Yeah.
But eventually you do reverse it slowly up to the house. By which point, it's probably fair to say that...
Night falls.
Yes. It's now the middle of the night.
The fog comes in.
Yeah, the fog comes in, and some cheeky little cunt of a Billy Spitzer gets up and is like, oh, I can't help you.
I'm only 12.
I'm only 12. Wretched child. Luckily, Danann's already slapped him.
Yeah, that's true.
Got slapping early. Fair enough.
Yeah. Preemptive slap.
I think during this exciting reversing maneuver, which I know is sort of covering the time that we've been going up, but I'm also going, Maureen, can you hear me? I'm just going to throw that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maureen, wait up.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, quick. I sort of hunker down, crouch, re-slick my hair, and turn towards where Thomas has been calling me from.
Can we hear the car, or is it too far away?
You can probably hear it trundling up the gravel.
So I'm a bit out of breath, but I get there with my stick and my fiddle, and I say, I told the dog to bring the car back up.
Yeah.
Well, I think he needed to keep Billy safe.
Good.
What's your plan?
I don't know. I just need to get in there.
All right. You lead, I'll follow.
Can we see any of the windows? Can we see the house in full view?
Yes.
Because initially my plan was to walk up to the doorway, fire a shot in the air and say, give me my daughter back. But I'm thinking a slightly less Steven Seagal moment might be necessary.
So here's what you see. The house itself is, like I say, sort of colonial. It was built sort of the end of the last century, but in that style.
Yeah.
It's a white painted stone house. The paint is peeling and cracked, and a lot of the windows seem to be broken. A big portion of the roof has collapsed, and yeah, there are sort of steps up to the front door. There's a big sort of semicircular porch. Obviously, there are paths. You can get round the back of the house. It's all just open. To one side, you can see these outbuildings a bit clearer now. One is a sort of squat, grey stone building with no windows. It appears to be sort of square in shape.
Like an ice house or something?
Not sure. It looks more like a more recent addition. And there are two large wooden sheds as well.
Was it there when I used to come to this place? Or is that what sort of role would that be?
The sheds definitely were.
Yeah.
The other building, maybe not. But maybe, I don't know.
I think seeing it, I turn to you and I say, didn't Rothstein say that he got himself killed? Probably that he wouldn't allow it, that the Miskatonic wouldn't have allowed it on their grounds.
Yes, you're right, Tom.
I think he was doing something in that building, like he turned it into his own little
laboratory.
Maybe something went wrong here.
Maybe it did.
Did you hear? I heard a guy in the grass. Did you hear that? Johnny...
Yes, I did.
Johnny Reese?
Yeah, Johnny Reese. I told him we'd help him on the way out.
Look,
I don't know what that was.
I got to tell you something. The doc saw something in the grass. He said there's creatures in the grass. I wonder if, and I sort of gesture with my hand, and I say, I wonder if it was like the kind of thing that went into his hand. I don't want to sound crazy. You know that, Maureen. You know me. I just want to get us out of here.
I know you, Thomas.
Let's get Esther.
You're right.
Round the back.
Let's get Esther. And I pull the gun out of my jacket lining. I'm not trying to hide it anymore. And
through the front it is.
Let's check that building. Oh, no. I was thinking, let's go straight for the...
Oh, and then she says, check that building. And I stop and I go, sure.
Yeah.
I follow you over to the building.
So you're wandering over to the sort of the squat grey building.
I mean, I'm striding, but...
I was going to go for crouched
yeah.
and possibly more of a bum than I realise I am. I'm exhausted.
I'm going for what they call in Fall Irons, squat jogs.
I think I'm stealthily, but actually what I'm doing is a sort of exhausted wander. I get it.
Yeah. In that case, I'm going to say that it's sort of over to the left of the house. You have to sort of follow the house around a bit. You can see it, but it's behind the house to the left. So you sort of go walking through the long grass to get there.
Can I see it from where I am?
Well, can I have a spot hidden from you to notice which way they've walked?
Okay.
I think with your reversing, maybe you pulled up. Let's see how the timing works out, basically.
Oh, that's exceptionally good. That's a 0-4, so I guess...
In which case, you probably pull up just as they are wandering that way, so you can see them in the wing mirror.
Fine.
Making their way around the edge of the house.
Great. Well, if it's all right, I'd like to get out of the car, make sure all the windows are done up and the doors are shut. I don't imagine there's a way to lock this car.
We don't have the key.
On a whim, I get a bundle of bandage from my doctor's kit, and I wedge it in the exhaust pipe.
Okay.
In the thinking that is a point of entry for some sort of slug.
Parasite.
Yeah. And then I sort of have a look around the car to see whether I've missed anything obvious in terms of like if something was going to try and get in there. I mean, it's probably too late for Billy anyway in terms of he's already been got. But and then for now, I just sort of hover by the car, trying to sort of split the difference a little bit between the car and where they've gone. Trying to stay in touching distance.
Yeah.
Trying to hold the party together with Billy.
Okay.
Kind of impossible, but I'm going to
doing the Lord's work. Yeah, fair play.
Seeing as you're waiting there, Nathaniel, you could give me a spot hidden if you want.
I suppose. And that one's not so good. So no good.
So you're stood in this long grass. You can smell this vomit.
In the long grass?
Well, I presume so. If you're sort of splitting the difference.
Oh, I see. Have they gone through the grass?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was a path.
There's a. To be fair, there is a narrow path, but
so not in the grass, like
yeah. But it's like it touches you.
It's
long enough to touch you.
They're not wading through it. They're just sort of.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, fine.
In which case, we'll be running. I will encourage Maureen to run. I do not want to linger. I'm a little bit anxious about this plan of hers to go to this building first, but I feel like I need to let her have her lead on this because it's her daughter.
So are you both running, is my first question.
I would encourage her to.
Yes.
I say, I don't want to linger in this grass.
I would like a
Constitution?
A spot hidden roll.
Okay.
From both of you.
I feel like I've been persuaded by you here, Danann, but I'm going with it. I've got to go. It's a big fucking house.
I've realised this is a new building. I've been here before.
Yeah, that's true. It's a new building. Yeah, I'm following instinct. You know the place.
33 on a 50, so a regular.
Oh my God. That's my third 76 of the night. You've rolled 2 1s. I've rolled 3 76s.
Fucking hell, man.
Maureen, you're running along and you notice something in the grass, something long and thick, and you realise it's some kind of...
Put it away, Thomas.
It's some sort of cable that runs from these sheds, these wooden sheds, to the house and this squat stone grey building. And so you manage to avoid tripping on them. Thomas Dolan, on the other hand, you only notice them once you've already tripped and you're flying through the air.
Probably as I turn and say, "Watch out, Thomas."
No.
You've already tripped. Yeah.
Jesus.
And you don't hurt yourself too badly because you land in the long, soft, wet grass.
Oh, Christ.
And as you come up, there's sort of like this string of mucus kind of like comes off your face back to the grass that you've landed in. And you have to sort of wipe it away.
Shit. I think it's enough to make me lose the stick. I drop the stick, but I instinctively take the fiddle close to my heart. And I'm sweeping this stuff off my...
Actually, while you're down there, just as you're sort of getting up from the grass, you hear this...
Classic line, Dom. Let's not take it. Don't take it back to your personal life.
You hear this movement in the bush.
Oh, shit.
And it draws your eye, and through the grass, as you're sort of lying on the floor trying to get up, you see something like a spider, perhaps. But it's tall for a spider. And it just sort of like...
Fuck right off.
Lollops through the grass.
No.
Sort of pale white.
It's just like a big spider though, right?
The legs are a bit rubbery to be a spider. But yes, could be a really big...
It's a tall, white, rubbery spider.
Luckily, my natural world isn't good enough for me to in any way think that's weird, because it's just like a spider I've never seen, right?
Oh, no, it's definitely weird. And that is a sanity.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
In the same way that if, you knew nothing about spiders, but you saw that in the real world.
It sounds utterly horrible.
Spider.
It sounds utterly horrible.
Yeah.
I'm joining the McAleer Club.
Hey.
My 01 has come through. Not 76, thank Christ. Again, that would be really weird.
A better moment for it to come through as well.
You don't know what it was. Maybe it was a spider or a weevil.
Well, no, but I think, isn't it that I really do clock that it's totally unusual, right? But I hold my line. And I do scramble back. I scramble back, but I do that slightly half-assed thing where I can't quite get up because I'm so freaked out by it's a thing that I know is not real, but is real. And I go, the spiders, they're not spiders. They've got long legs. They're rubbery long legs. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
And all the blessed saints in heaven. Thomas.
Damn straight.
Are you okay? I actually do come back and help him up.
Yeah, he's a bit wet.
Get out of the grass. Get out of the grass. Get out. Don't touch me. Get out of the grass.
Okay.
He's kind of sticky and wet in places where he's touched the ground.
Keep going. Keep going.
If he tells me to get away, I do. And then I say, okay, we need to see what's in these buildings. And I carry on towards the stone house.
They're like spiders, I say.
Like spiders.
But not.
I think it's fair to say Coombs probably saw Thomas Dolan face plant to the long grass.
And then get up like I'm...
Like Jackass 4.
Yeah, like...
And you can certainly hear him ranting about spiders.
Okay.
So you're heading to the stone building.
Unless the direction of the cables is... The cables are heading towards the stone house and the sheds around it, right?
They go from the sheds to this stone building and also to the main house.
So I still want to check out this stone house first and foremost. Because it's part of the, Also, before this was overgrown, we'd have garden parties, so I'm pretty sure these cables are new. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's all, anyway, the stone house.
The walls are about 20 foot long and it's about 10 foot high, this building. It seems to be square. Again, no windows, but you do find a very heavy-looking black iron door, which is padlocked on the outside.
Okay. Cover your ears again, Thomas.
Okay.
And I sort of point the gun at the thing and fire it.
Let's have that roll again.
Okie dokie.
Winning a fumble.
I'm pretty good with this revolver, but let's have a look. 64 on a 60.
Fine. So you shoot, and again, it makes a hell of a noise. It ricochets and sort of pushes you backwards, maybe into Thomas Dolan. But the padlock does come off.
Yeah.
Maureen.
Need to get in there. We need to get in there, Thomas. Esther's in there, or if she isn't, she's in the main house, but something's happening here. You see that? Did you see those cables?
I think that might have been what I didn't see them, no. Right, what do you want to do?
There's cables running from the house to these places. I don't know about electricity and things, but they weren't here when I used to know the house. We need to get inside, and I swing the door open. Do we have torches?
I do look for the cables. Do they run into the building?
Yeah.
I definitely do not have a torch. I'll add that in. I literally have my fiddle and a cigar, and that's it.
So yeah, it is really dark inside.
I thought it might be.
With my electrical repair, do I have a notion that this might be running power to this building?
It seems to that would be a logical conclusion to draw.
Yeah.
I'm going to check in with Dr. Coombs. Is there anything you want to be doing while this is happening?
Could I maybe just do a listen roll?
Yeah.
I think I've heard the gunshot go off. I want to sort of hear whether I hear any movement as a consequence of that, I guess. Any movement from the house specifically. No good. No, that's
nothing.
No.
But you do start to get this unpleasant feeling as you consider the house. You start to get this horrible feeling that you're being watched.
Okay.
But maybe it's just that thing, when you sort of stare at something long enough, you start to see, you start to look for faces in things, like in trees and clouds and pareidolia. The windows sort of glare at you like eyes, like angry eyes. And it's got that kind of, because that arched porch with the columns, sort of Greco-Roman columns like the White House, it does kind of have this kind of like grimacing face to the house.
Yeah.
Somehow. And it makes you feel unpleasant momentarily.
Yeah.
Back in the darkness.
Is there any pampas grass? Is it that sort of place?
What, in this pitch dark room?
No, I mean like around the place, around the grounds of the pampas grass.
Oh yeah,
Right.
he was mad on pampas grass.
I happen to know that pampas grass burns very quickly, but very furiously. So what I might do, knowing that, as someone who's had to start a few fires in the Seaverville,
Is set fire to everything now.
is set fire to everything. No. I want to pluck a few stalks of this pampas grass and like sort of tuck maybe like 5 or 6 under my arm and light one and enter with that.
Okay.
As a flaming torch that will probably only last about 15 seconds, but I've got others to like keep lighting it with
Fine.
as I drop the other, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What's Thomas Dolan doing in this moment?
Well, I was looking at the power in. Does it look like it's fresh? Does it look like it's well kept? Does it look like it's been rusted or
Well, the cables. They look in
good condition?
pretty new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do they run straight into the building from the front, or do they kind of snake around the back? Or
This building that Maureen's just walked into, they run into the front.
so I think all I do is I say they're running power to this, and it looks like it's active.
I know. And maybe Esther's down there.
Here, let me help. Let me help you with those, and I offer to take the ones under your arm, and I'll just start passing them to you.
Great. I pass them back to you. Yeah. I've lit one pampas. It's those, those bushel things.
Here, wait,
in the middle of it.
wait, no, this isn't right. You have your gun as well. I'll light these.
True.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I've got my fucking fiddle. Oh, fuck.
I'm okay as it is. If you can hold them for me, I can hold them out if you light them, and I can have my 38 in the other hand.
All right.
What I will say is, as you say, with your electrical repair being as good as it is, Thomas Dolan, it does occur to you these sheds are probably generators. So there's probably electric light available to you, if you...
There should be a switch in here somewhere, if you're willing to light it.
Yes, of course.
And so I think the first of our 2 bits of pampas grass we'd love to use to try and find a switch.
Yeah, fair to say.
The immediate vicinity of the door, when you illuminate it with this fire, and it sends shadows flickering madly around the void of this large empty space, you see that the wall in which the door is set, there's all these cables and panels and switches and big chunky things you have to pull down, like Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory. But there is a very normal-looking metal light switch as well. But when you flick it, nothing happens.
Are there stairs leading down, or does this just sort of go?
Just one big room, but you can only sort of see near the door with the fire.
I want to light another pampas bushel and step into the middle of the space and see if I can see the full circumference, as it were.
So now you can see that some of the cables run from these panels by the wall towards the middle of the room. And as you get closer, you see there is a huge iron circle set in the floor, in the stone floor. But it looks like it's warped. It's sort of slightly twisted. And it's covered in these strange carvings. There's a lot of staining on the floor, and the stench of vomit is slightly overwhelming. And there's a kind of ammonia as well, that kind of urine smell, plus a kind of spicy, again, that sort of stomach lining, spicy kind of smell.
But nowhere that Esther could be.
Well, we don't want her to be in here, do we?
Well, no, we don't.
What I would also say is that there are these workbenches along the walls, all covered in all sorts of items. There's thick leather aprons and gauntlets, welding masks, big forceps that are all shiny and metal, glint in the flickering flame. 3 foot long forceps, you know. There's loads of knives, these thick nets like you'd expect a gladiator to have. There's tiny daggers, big machetes. There's a wooden box that seems to be full of something. And there's all these sort of round metal canisters. They're about 2 foot tall, 8 inches in diameter. Polished aluminium, and they're sort of lined up on the wall, against the wall.
I'd like to look for a bag. Is there a bag in this? On this?
Oh, one more thing. How far? My question is, how far into this room do you actually go with your makeshift torches?
I think what I said was I'd step into the middle of the room as I perceived it to try and cast a light on the surrounding area. And I know you said we saw like a sort of broken circle of metal in the middle and like cables running in, but that was my attempt, was to stand in the middle.
Surely you'd instinctively stop before you walked into the middle of that, though, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, if there's a big hole in the middle of the room, I imagine I won't walk into that, but I wanted to try and throw light on.
But you would walk into the middle of a ritual circle, you're saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe. I mean, you've lost your daughter.
Well, nothing happens, but you do get to see the back of the room where there is a 6 foot, besides these aluminium canisters, there is a 6 foot tall glass tank with rusted iron supports and a big padlocked iron lid set on the wall.
Wow. I was not expecting that.
Sort of attached. And it is... It's filled with murky water.
Oh, no.
That is kind of... There's movement in there. With trickles of condensation running down the outside of the glass.
I immediately say, Thomas.
I pass you another pampas grass.
Yes, thank you. Where's the door open? We don't want to get stuck in here.
It's already open.
I'm gonna... Good. Let's see what's in that tank. Quickly.
Wait. No. Wait.
Sorry.
Wait. We need things. You've got your gun. I need something just in case. And I dash over to the workbench in the few seconds I have, because I now see these things burn out fast. And is there a bag that I really want to put this fiddle in a fucking bag.
I think that'll be a luck roll.
Yeah, no, I've got an alternative. If it's not 35, failed. I see no bag, so I go, oh, all right, and I've got the fiddle in my left hand, and I'll take a big knife, and I'll go back to her, but I'll stick the knife in my pocket, and I'll take my belt off, and I'll hook the fiddle, the handle of the fiddle case through my belt, and I'll sling the belt around so it's a sort of makeshift. I mean, I'm nervous about it. It could easily be bashed. It's not like it's protected like in a bag, so you can punish me how you will. And then I'll take the knife out, and I'll And I'll pick up the pampas grass and I'll hand another pampas grass to it.
Fantastic. All right. So it does occur to you that, well, I think you're probably intelligent enough to know that the wooden sheds are probably generators.
Yeah.
And you can see there are light bulbs in here. So he's had the place electrified.
We might be able to get power to this building if we go back to those sheds. I'm just saying.
Maybe
whatever's in that water, I don't think it's not Esther. I say, and I think maybe only for the second time, I gently put my hand on your forearm and I say, it's not Esther in there. You know that, right?
there's a part of me. There's half of me that panics as he says that, and half of me that thinks he's right. And I'm sort of torn in that moment between running up and trying to smash the glass. And I say,
and there's the whole house
yes,
as well.
Yes.
There's the whole house. Whatever they're up to here.
Yes, yes.
And like that poor boy, if they used him as a subject, I don't know. I can't tell.
But while we're here, Thomas, and then I dash away from you and I try and just put my hands over my eyes and just try and see what's in the glass. Like,
I desperately try to catch the pampas grass as she drops it.
yeah, which I do.
It's actually so, even with the pampas grass, it's so dark in here, it's really hard to see inside the tank. It occurs to you that if you got the lights working, you probably would be able to see better.
Yeah.
Not to force you to do that, but I'm just saying that's the reality.
I turn away from the tank and I say, "You're right, Thomas, you're right. And we should get back to, Nathaniel."
Do you recognize anything to do with this?
I don't know.
I will allow you to do a spot hidden, but it would be a hard success. I'd need to see anything.
I would like that, regardless. That is a 92, so that's no good.
69. No.
There is movement. There is movement in the tank, but you can't make it out.
I'm going to just...
There's movement.
Yeah, that was the thing that drew our darkest attention.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Just looking at this central circular marking zone, is there anything that I recognize about this? Is there anything to do with... Does it look mathematical? Does it look... You said there were markings.
The markings are... I think the markings are technically occult.
Yeah, got nothing. I wonder if the dark might make some sense of these.
Maybe. But in the meantime...
But actually, if you give me a hard physics roll...
Got no physics.
Oh, doesn't matter then.
Okay, I might roll a 1. I'll try it.
Yeah, try it, Thomas.
I rolled a 5. It's tempting, isn't it?
Oh my God.
0 to 5.
Surely. Well, I don't know how much...
I could spend 4 luck and pass my physics. I mean...
I started with 20, so I don't know how much you have.
I feel like I've worked in... The thing is, because I worked in textiles, you see, so I fancy myself as being able to understand machinery and mechanical things. So there's a little bit of physics left in there. Luck 20. I could spend 4 luck, which, by the way, let's remind ourselves is, 20% of my luck.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What do you think, Danann? What do you think? It might give me an insight.
Well, I don't know if it would adjust your... Well, if it would adjust your role or your decision to make, you see, as you're mulling this over, you see my 38 going towards the base of the tank.
Oh, God.
As if I'm about to
do you know
shoot
what?
the glass
I think
out.
I'm going to pass my physics check on a 1%. I spend 4 luck. That's 16 luck.
Oh, fucking hell.
And I'm gonna have an insight.
You are. Danann, are you going to shoot this tank?
That was my instinct. I was slowly raising my gun towards the base of the tank. Not to shoot whatever's in it, but to empty it. Because although Thomas said it wasn't Esther, that planted a horrible seed in my head that it might be Esther. And I just need it drained.
Okay.
Sorry, Joseph. I know that was the opposite of what you intended. But,
No, that's powerful. I love it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to need a firearms roll, but I mean, as long as you hit it. So I'm going to say only a fumble will.
All I'll say is that came off the back of Joseph deciding whether or not to push to adjust his roll. So maybe it's fair to say that he gets to go first as he sees my gun raising. I don't know. Maybe if not, I'll happily roll it now.
I mean, I'm imagining they're simultaneous. I'm imagining they're simultaneous.
Okay, well, I'll roll anyway then. I'll roll.
Roll it anyway, and then we'll see what happens.
That's 41 on 60.
Fair enough.
Finally, you hit it square on.
You're Thomas Dolan. You're looking at this disc on the floor, and perhaps experimentally, because it's sort of curled up at one end where it's sort of warped, and you can see these sort of carvings all around it. Maybe you give it an experimental tap with your foot, and there's this kind of bong as it vibrates, and the word that pops into your head is resonate. It resonates, and suddenly you just remember this really weird bit of, a synapse connects somewhere in your head about Rothstein talking about his weird experiments at Miskatonic and going missing. And wasn't there that other physicist who went missing years and years ago and the name just pops into your head, Tillinghast Resonator. And as you hear that in your head, there's this bang that is deafening in this space, and there's a smash, and the murky water just cascades out of this tank, and you see in the water, both of you, these grey lamprey-like giant sort of slug shapes that just sort of flop onto the floor, flop, plop, 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 and they immediately start writhing away, wriggling in all different directions.
Run.
These horrible things. And can I have, this is going to be a bit nasty, can I have a sanity roll from both of you, please?
Yeah, I think that is fair. That is horrific.
That's fair.
That is horrific.
Lampreys. I hate lampreys. That's 52.
But also, I should emphasise they're definitely not lampreys.
Quite clearly.
That's a fail.
The closest thing we can get is a lamprey eel.
A fail on my 37.
56 on a 40. Both failed. It's the breaking point.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Okay. So,
I mean, if any of them come near my feet, I want to be stamping at them. But they probably don't.
oh, who's got the lowest luck?
Me, 16.
So, Maureen, you're so focused, you only lose 1 point of sanity.
Wow. Quite impressive, actually.
Thomas Dolan, the realization that this is all connected potentially to something that you only vaguely remember, and vaguely remember as sounding very disturbing, and then seeing these disturbing things.
It's a terrible conjunction.
It is, and you lose 5 points of sanity.
Ooh, that's enough.
Oh, fucking hell.
Is that indefinite?
No, so that's it's 8 would be enough, right? 5 8's 40. So, but it's still about. Obviously.
Well, so I need an intelligence.
Yeah, well, depending on the intelligence, right? Yeah, okay. So let's fail this, guys. Oh, and it's literally my second best stat.
Of course.
This is one of these rare moments in gaming where you see the bittersweet twist of luck as a narrative. My intelligence is 70, and I have rolled 70. Presumably I can't spend luck to fail a roll. So, unfortunately, just that little glimpse of the Tillinghast is just enough to make me realize what it is that I am truly looking at, which is forbidden, strange, outlandish, and goddamn supernatural. So my brain fractures, and I suffer a bout of madness on a 7-0. Wow, that's a beautiful roll. Fuck you, God of Luck. San 5 loss. 35.
So your bout of madness.
I love it. The doc has been pummeled. He's lost sand, but never quite 5. Like, this is my first sand loss. Bang, instant. Gone.
Yeah.
You realize that there is, you see a path to fulfilling everything you promised the doctor back at the car.
Yes.
That you were going to get your business back. You're going to get Maureen back into polite society. And you're going to get the doctor back into an MD's office.
Damn straight.
And you realize there is a path to doing that, which is to become a hero. And you see how to do it. It presents itself to you now, because lying in the water among these strange abominations is a baby, a living baby. And you see it.
What the fuck?
And you rush to it. Maureen, you just see Thomas just dart in the sort of just in the gloom that from the light of the door, dart forwards.
Thomas, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And pick up. He comes out of the shadows towards you, cradling what looks like a baby, and he says,
"I've saved him. I've saved the baby. I've saved the baby. I've got it. It's all right. I've got the baby."
What does the baby look like?
And the baby seems alive and well, and it gurgles away, and then Maureen, you see its face.
A lamprey's mouth?
Oh no, it's not like the other things that fell out of the tank. Not at all.
Oh no.
It looks like a small monkey, perhaps.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, a sort of monkey, if a monkey had been turned completely inside out. The head is a huge mouth of teeth and writhing tentacles that sort of emanate from it. And the smell is like really sweet, like burnt sugar and methane. And it makes this horrible chittering, bubbling noise.
Fuck me.
And you look at Thomas Dolan's face, and he's just smiling benignly in the half light. Coochie coochie coo.
I'm straight.
First of all, I'm going to need a sanity roll just from Maureen.
I was going to say, poor Maureen.
Love to have one of those.
I'd love to do that for you.
Yeah, 59, so a fail.
Oh no! Oh,
You
all down to Dan.
You lose one Haster's worth of sanity, which is 6.
One Haster.
Oh fuck! So that's 10 in total I've taken.
Bout of madness.
Have you lost 10?
Was that indefinite?
I've lost 10 in total.
From 40?
40.
So you're indefinite and about, obviously.
Tick your indefinite insanity box.
Shit.
Lovely.
Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
No.
Dan's got a lot of work to do. I mean, it's just you and Dan then for the next session. It's fine.
Yeah. Him outside this fucking building.
We could really fuck him up if you want, Dom. Yeah, we can come in at any time. You prime us next session.
Anything could happen, but my instinct is that I see it as Esther when Esther was a child, and I remember holding her, and I remember holding her out to Charles for the first time, and him taking her in his arms, and then in my mind her face sort of comes away and becomes this thing. She starts making these chittering sounds, and I remember how when I was breastfeeding for the first few months she just wouldn't take, and I think of feeding as a concept, and I think of ownership as a concept, and I look at Thomas and I see Charles's face.
Oh yeah.
And I look at the thing and I see Esther's face, and I lose my mind temporarily.
When you take your breast out.
No, No, but I think I do make a movement towards them and say, it's okay, Esther. It's okay, it's okay, Charles. Remember our first dance? It was just here, just in the ballroom here. Up just that way.
You find yourselves embracing in the darkness with this thing in between you, and it's sort of, you feel it sort of licking at your face, but for as far as you're both concerned, you're somewhere else.
I giggle and I say, no.
Maureen, you're back at one of these wonderful balls at
yes,
in Prospect.
Oh yes,
and you can see the ballroom and it's marvelous. And you start to.
Yes.
Maybe Thomas is reluctant, but
cliche as it is, I was the belle of the ball. Everyone was looking at me, my dress and everything, and everyone's looking at me now.
And you start gently waltzing, but the baby gets upset and starts to cry a little bit.
Esther, come on, Esther, please,
and then
Esther.
It turns into this horrific, horrible scream. Can you both give me extreme power?
Oh no. I mean, yes, I'll try. My equal worsts.
That's a 48 on my 40 power. So definitely not.
Did you say extreme?
Extreme.
Oh, son of a bitch. I passed, but it's not. No, I've rolled a 33 and a 40.
I don't know if it helps you, but as she starts screaming, all I want to do is look up into the face of Thomas and say, Charles, I'll take her outside. She'll be better then. I'll take her outside. I'm so sorry, Charles. I know you're busy.
As she says that to you, Thomas, she finishes that sentence. I know you're busy. And the screaming is, you can barely hear her over this horrific screaming.
Esther, come on now.
It seems like it's inside you. And as she says that, you see her eyes roll back into her skull, and she just slips and falls, as sort of mid-waltz, she just falls down, flops on the floor, hits the metal thing, you hear that bong again.
Resonance.
And then the baby slips through your arms as you also suddenly feel very woozy.
I feel myself dropping.
And you just disappear into pitch darkness and unconsciousness. I mean, to be fair, if you described a spider to someone who'd never heard of them, they do sound fucking horrible.
I'm going to join the...
It lays eggs and it creates a web out of its arse to catch its food.
It's got
It has 8 eyes and 8 legs and a big fat bum.
Ludicrous.
And it has a nest and they eat each
You
other.
love them, don't you? You love spiders.
Fucking hate them. Fucking hate them.
This is the man who recommended Tchaikovsky's book to me.